RingGangRadio.com. Take over. Last mission. Final boss mode.
Yeah, what's good, yo? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. I'm your host for tonight, Pat Scorpion, and representing. And as always, I got my man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yo, what it do is Shuttleworth, the God, the GOAT artist, aka LB, Lauderdale Boss, Florida in the building, the Soul Wars creator, RingGangRadio.com, in the building.
Yes, sir. Ringing in the house forever and always. And as always, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Hey, yo, what's good, bro? You already know who it is. Your boy King P, Bodega Boxing in the building. Ring Gang Radio all day. Let's get it.
Hey, Bodega. Hey, Bodega P, straight from the show. Actually, he's above ground today.
I'm home, man. I'm in an undisclosed location.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Hey, nigga, that's eye test shit. That's.
I don't care. I'm in a secret location throwing rocks at Trump supporters.
Hey,
Get him.
You
Oh man, I thought the Gestapos were about to come and get us if Biden didn't win.
Yeah.
The niggas just celebrating out here like it's the end of Return of the Jedi. Like.
Yeah, and meanwhile, with P is they're trying to separate like New York's into like 3 different New Yorks now, some shit like that.
I don't think I showed that to you, LB. New York, all the people from Long Island and upstate New York, outside of New York City, are all like petitioning to get New York to be separated into 3 states for election time because they feel like New York City makes their votes not matter. Well, I don't want to hear that shit.
Yo, like the gall and the audacity of some of these people, like, you know, some of these cats that are Trump supporters, man, they're not taking this shit like, you know, they're not taking this shit like pretty well. Like, if some like the galls of some of these people, man, like sit down. You know what I'm saying? Like, shut up. You know, you voted, you lost. It's, you know, that's how it was 4 years ago. Y'all were talking that good shit. Now you're not. So it's like, fuck out of here. You know, like, yeah, no, but you know, enough about that. You know, enough about because there's more than enough.
Yeah, it's boxing. Fuck all this politics shit.
Yeah, no.
We politic with our fists, nigga.
You know what I'm saying? We have enough of that reality show bullshit with this politics, nigga. Fuck that.
Yeah,
so
out of hearing politics, then start listening up right now. It's boxing time.
Fact. So we have plenty to talk about for boxing, and possibly the biggest news to come out from this weekend, you know, involves one Saul Canelo Alvarez. You know, where Canelo, you know, although no details have been really given out yet on what happened or the agreement, has been let out of his Golden Boy contract, which I didn't think would happen, and as well as his DAZN responsibilities. So as officially as of, I think it was like 5th, I think Reynoso put out that tweet and Instagram that as of the 5th, that Canelo is a free agent, a promotional free agent. You know, which
so do we get like a double mixtape like on some Mobb Deep shit, or we get
the double album? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, we just getting Canelo free. Like, how he a free agent when we still got to pay for his fights? Ain't nothing free about that. You need to stay lying over there.
You know, I mean, for me, I mean, when you got this, I'm like, you know what? I mean, even before the show, like, yeah, whatever. Because like I said before, if you heard us talk about it, wasn't like Canelo was lighting up DAZN anyway with his fights. You know. I mean, I can name at least 10 fights on DAZN that I can say that I fuck with from since it started 2018 before I even think of attempting to name a Canelo fight. You know what I'm saying? So
shit, 10, man. We probably end up with 20 if we try hard enough.
I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's safe to say that the Canelo DAZN deal ended up like Papooses deal with Jive. Yeah. That $1 million deal he signed. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
You know,
ass album.
Now, for the ones who are not in the loop of how this led to this, it led to this, you know, as they were trying to trying to schedule Canelo's 4th fight on this contract. And obviously the first one it was canceled because of COVID. So I mean, it is what it is. But then afterwards, there's a situation where the WBC owed Yildirim a shot at the title, and it would have been against Benavidez if Benavidez had actually made weight, which he did not. So the WBC asked Canelo, did he, was he interested in facing Yildirim for the belt? Canelo accepted. The Zone balked and
like the cherry picker he is.
Yeah, exactly. And the Zone.
Hold on, wait. Y'all got a new orchard? It's called the Yildirim? Wait a minute. Where's this at?
Yeah. Now that fight, literally, Canelo Yildirim was shitted on like everywhere. Even pro fighters were not like no one was really fucking with this fight. Even though like Yildirim did nothing wrong. Let's put it out there. It's an unfortunate solution that actually put him in that situation. But for the fact that Canelo picked him instead of, let's say trying to make a fight with Smith or BGS or any of that shit, it didn't sit well with people. And DAZN definitely didn't want that fight. Like DAZN balked at actually paying for that fight. Wanted to pay him $30 million for that fight, especially since he hadn't really been put through the gauntlet like he should have. So
and you got to keep in mind negotiations had already failed with Saunders and Smith throughout the course of the summer. He even started out before the summer with the whole trying to get planned for the May 5th, the Cinco de Mayo, and it was in a turnaround time.
Like a 4-week notice or something like that. Yeah,
like just at the end of the day, like before the lawsuit, it just seemed like there was a lot of disingenuous,
wasted year, basically.
A lot of disingenuous business negotiations coming from Canelo and Golden Boy in regards to making a fight. Like it just didn't seem like they was really trying to make a fight. It seemed like they were just kind of pussyfooting around, seeing how much they could get, and I think it got to the point where okay, fuck it, maybe the lawsuit to clear this shit up, because sometimes you got to sue people to make them do what they supposed to do, or sometimes you got to sue people to stop what you're supposed to trying to do. So
exactly. And the legislation, and obviously we thought like, okay, this is Canelo's doing. Like, I mean, this is the zone. You didn't want to pay for the fight, and rightfully so. I mean, the zone has its own business, has its own goals, and a Canelo Yildirim fight does not really move the needle in any way. I mean, it's unfortunate that it had to take place. But WBC could have easily picked someone else, for that fight and could have edited somewhere else.
But the thing is, it just looked bad that he couldn't fight. He couldn't make other fights. But as soon as WBC ordered that, it's like, well, shit, okay, I'll take that fight.
Exactly, like
that's what looked bad about it. So it's like,
So then, and that's the messy part. So of course, that's why Canelo sued. Sued DAZN and Golden Boy. And then, and honestly, we thought it would take a minute for it to get through it, but apparently, like I said, Oscar confirmed it too. He was just let loose from his contract. Now, like I said, we don't have the particulars on the agreement or whatever it is. What would
it could be that they just simply explained that, look, we could all just cut our losses here, because they did pay him some money for certain fights.
Yeah, they did. I mean, they paid him.
Those fights didn't pan out the way they wanted, and they didn't get the fights that they thought they would get out of Canelo, and Canelo didn't get the future paydays that he thought he would get from them. I think it was just the best thing to do is just to cut losses. I felt like he was holding Golden Boy back. Yeah,
and I said too. I said it before. It's like, I mean, when this came up, I was like, yeah, let him go. Like, let Canelo go. It's like, he's not. I mean, he's clearly he's not getting anything out of this. He's basically trying to milk his own for his own gain instead of like really being genuine about this opportunity and his stuff. And
because remember they kept dropping the price tag for him, but then it's like he wanted to do that for his opponents, and his opponents weren't buying it because it's like, look, you're already getting 30 mil, whatever. Take a few mils off of yours and put that on my end, and then we could make the fight. That could have happened already. Like,
yeah.
Well, he didn't want to do it. Like,
you knew that wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah. But the thing is, he would have made more money that way than the proposed shit that they. Remember, they proposed something earlier before it got to this point.
Yeah, no,
He'll make 25 mil or whatever. This that 20
yeah,
mil.
like I mean, he had a chance to make more like on an upside type of guarantee or whatever. Like I mean, as long as he met a couple things, and Canelo still didn't want it, and it's just like, and it's like it's a waste of time. But at least with this,
Because they forced him to make tougher fights.
exactly. But at least with this thing is, I mean, Golden Boy still stays on DAZN because let's put it this way: DAZN Oscar probably burned a lot of bridges with ESPN and Fox's, but Fox and Showtime probably can't do that, and you can't do that for ESPN. I mean, Oscar is literally like you don't know where else he could have aired his fights, really, unless he went to Impact Network. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, at least Golden Boy will stay on there, and hopefully he'll move forward because I know Golden Boy has some cards to make and has some fights to make, and they do have some young stars which they can try to build on. If Oscar plays his cards right.
They got plenty of people now that they ain't focusing on Canelo, because this is the thing, they was keeping everybody in Canelo's shadow.
Mm-hmm.
They was using him as the model first guy that they're gonna use, and everybody was being modeled after him. Like Ryan Garcia, same thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
You got Canelo there. Ryan Garcia can now be the flagship artist, flagship boxer, whatever.
Right.
And start making main events and big fights for him.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Virgil Ortiz could be on his way. And you could start getting Jojo Diaz the headline cards. Like, he had fucking champ already. Like, geez.
Yeah, like, I mean, Golden Boy has a few world champions that need to make fights. They need to make that Teixeira fight with Castaño. So,
one they've been pushing back for centuries already.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, make that damn fight, and, so it's just like, I know Jojo Diaz, he has Kevin Farmer or is mandatory. Like, these are fights that they can move forward and make. And try to recover from the Canelo from the Canelo business.
They got Blair Cobb, right? They still got him.
What's that? Did they got who?
Blair Cobb.
Oh yeah, they got him. He's still on there. Sure.
I mean, he was exciting. Like, they should be trying to make something with him and Virgil Ortiz or something.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely got some stuff. I mean, they definitely got stuff they can try to build. And it'll be interesting going forward and going into 2021 how Golden Boy is going to. I mean, it's a good opportunity. Either they build stars or Oscar probably looks for a new platform home for Golden Boy Promotions.
And they got Munguia. Like they got fights, man. It's just too much energy and time was spent trying to make Canelo happy and be super picky with his opponents.
Mm-hmm. He's
the last person you need to headline as your star lister on a fucking promoter stable.
Right, and obviously, I mean, there were the fights.
It's too hard to make fights for Canelo.
Yeah, like obviously, DAZN wanted the third fight with Triple G, which I said before had an expiration date. Like, I mean, that fight was only viable, probably with maybe the next 6 months or so.
It was a no-brainer to make, and it's like, I'm just sorry, like this new era of. It seemed like you got to pull too many teeth to get the elite guys to make fights nowadays.
Yeah, I know. It really is. Like, I mean, the game has changed. Like, it really, like, I mean,
this is supposed to be an older Golovkin that everybody was saying that, well, man, Canelo should be able to knock him out. Like, I've never understood if the public perception is that much for one guy, why not take the fight? And it's a big fight that people want to see.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, I don't know what Canelo thought. Like, I mean, no other fight that was on his radar is bigger than that third fight because the two fights did great business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just don't get it. So it's a lot of like I've always stated that Canelo is like managed bad. Like his career trajectory, like out of all the opponents he has now, like his best, biggest, cleanest win is the Cotto fight, and this is a Cotto that
was competitive.
That was competitive, and that lesser fighters before and after have beaten worse.
Exactly. So
it's just I'm just like, but now's the what's the talk? They talking about doing the Caleb Plant fight.
Yeah, like the talk now is we may get something announced sometime like next week or so, or in the next coming days. But they're talking about, Canelo might sign. Like, I wouldn't know if he's signing from PBC, but I think the idea is Canelo will be his own promoter or co-promoter, and then to fight Caleb Plant on pay-per-view. The BoxRec already has that shit up too, so it's like even has it now. So I mean, that's pretty much the plan because it seems like that's how everyone wants it now. But I know before too, even then, like the turnaround for a fight like this, like they tried this in December. And like, I mean, and I know
trash move, my nigga.
Yeah, I mean, I know because LB, you were talking about this the other day, and it's like you were right. Like, it needs to be built up just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, Caleb Plant ain't a household name, but he has household name potential. You don't spring a fight of this magnitude on him.
Fight, though. It's a good ass fight, though.
Of course, it's a great fight. I love the fight, but I'm saying the timing is terrible. Mm-hmm. You don't spring that last minute in the fucking Christmas month, holiday month, December, end of the year, and it just mentioned, and you're talking about it in the second week of November, and the last time these two guys' names were even linked together was April.
Yeah, exactly.
Or March.
Yeah, and it's like back to it's gonna be on pay-per-view. That's like they actually want.
And it's pay-per-view, so it's like you're like doing a you're just fucking shoving a pay-per-view out of thin air on us, and it's one that has potential to be actually big and really intriguing. Yeah. But you passing it off like it's a Tuesday night fight.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the worst part of it too, because it's like, and there's already a pay-per-view in that month with Spence and Garcia, which actually it's gone through its actual cycle of build, So
yes,
it's like,
overbuild if we're keeping
it. Yeah, because it almost seemed like we've been waiting for Garcia Spence for forever.
Yeah,
nigga, I already drew the picture. I just ain't even color it yet because I'm like, well, since we're not gonna get this for a while, let me just put this in the folder for now. Like,
yeah,
come on, cause look, Plant. We talk about this all the time. Like, Ring Game, we get real technical when we talk about the whole marketing and promoting aspect, and because we like to see the sport of boxing grow. Plant undefeated. He's American. He's Caucasian. You know what I'm saying? That sells. I know he's not one of these.
He's not Joe Smith Caucasian.
Yeah, he's not. He's more on the. Let me see. If you had.
He's the white chocolate of boxing.
Yeah. He's more on this Jason Williams shit. but hey, that doesn't mean but that still means he could be popular as hell though.
Yeah, I mean, even
he still has potential, and it's like he has different crowds he could appeal to. His wife works for the same company, like.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she announced her. You got so many demographics you can tap into. Plant and his whole story, his come up story, all of that. Like, there's so much you could get into him if you do a actual promo run. That if you just announce a fight in November to be December, like you're cutting down the potential pay-per-view sales. Like, right. I don't think this shit might hit like 500K.
Yeah.
As is right now, but it has the potential
to do
a mill.
Right.
Give it a fire co-main and get this a 4-month promo run. Say if this fight was to be in April or March, this could do a mill.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I think what they're trying to do, I feel like they're trying to strike where the iron is hot. Like, they don't want to put Canelo on at least on regular Showtime. Where at least it's like, okay, Showtime, you might pop a big rating. If Canelo's on there, and they're trying. I know PBC definitely did have a pay-per-view on deck, but I don't think it was meant for Canelo or even Caleb Plant. That's for damn sure.
It was a placeholder pay-per-view. Like, they knew it was gonna run us a pay-per-view, but they just ain't know who.
Yeah, I was thinking it'll probably be like a Manny Pacquiao pay-per-view or something like that, but
yeah. And see, with all the bad blood with the zone and shit, it's like it don't look like you'll get the damn Callum Smith and Saunders fights ever now.
Yeah, you know,
It would have been the most logical fights to make right now because you don't have to build those fights up, first of all, because the star ceiling, the potential in America for Saunders and Smith to blow up ain't really as big.
Right, and that's the worst thing too, because I mean, even if Canelo goes,
They don't really fight over here. They're not known like that, but the hardcores know them. Their name's been linked to Canelo all year.
you know what I'm saying, and like you have, and even if they go and get Caleb's belt or if they get the WBC belt, it's like, you know, like who are you gonna fight? Like you go run through PBC's 168 gauntlet. I mean, they don't have much of a 168 gauntlet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, and the thing is, it's like boxing moves so slow. We should have been got a unification from both sides, where it would have been like, well, okay, if Canelo goes to whatever side, he fight the winner of them, and so you could at least say like the division has some type of clarity where, okay, Canelo would be the top guy, then you gotta, or whoever wins with Canelo would be the top guy, and then the guy who didn't fight that bracket is looked at as the next top guy or whatnot. But this way, it's like,
I mean, either way,
it's all over the place.
yeah, there's no clarification whatsoever. 168, I mean, 168 hasn't had any clarification in a while, in a long while, and then it sucks because you have these prime fighters in this division, and they're just not getting in the mix, not even close to getting in the mix, not on PBC side and not on the DAZN side, you know, and it's terrible. Like it's awful that that's happening. Like and they're all fighting like these bullshit ass fights.
Yes, and it's happening too often. Like it's not like sometimes they're mandatory, sometimes they're not. It just is never the fights you want to see.
Yeah, I mean we have Plant. I mean Plant since he won the belt on Ukateki, like he's fought, you know, Mike Lee, who came down from light heavyweight, the Subway guy, and then he fought his mandatory from Germany. Like these are not fights that are just like, okay, yeah, third fight. Like you can't have a bullshit fight after two fights like that, you know. And then
Plant's a bad style for Canelo anyway. Like,
you know, and it's just, and then Smith almost should have lost his belt to Ryder.
I thought Ryder won that shit. That was a fight that deserved an immediate rematch.
Yeah.
If anybody was to fight Ryder, and a champion, you know, I wouldn't mind it too much because I do feel like he deserves another title shot.
Right. Agreed. And then we have Saunders, who had to Wilder himself to that belt because, you know, he was losing. You know, he
already won the belt. He had the Wilder the Wilder himself to defend it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You know, so it's just like, you know, yeah. So like, you know, you get all these champions. They're having these moments where they're starting to show spoiling on the vine type of deal.
Yeah. Remember, because Canelo ain't look good with Kovalev.
No, he did not.
And remember, that was a cold-hearted cherry pick. So it's like this. So, that whole group is just looking funny in the light. Like I'm side-eyeing all them niggas.
Yeah, like 160. So it's like even like, so I know people are like, I think the big thing about, you know, Canelo is like, oh yeah, Canelo's DAZN is dead. DAZN isn't dead. You know, people like they have two boxes. I mean, they can still put on fights now
because Canelo ain't provide the stimulus, the Drake feature that everybody thought he would provide. So how can they be dead when they didn't even have to rely on him?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like I mean, we said it before too. That like,
he legitimately like he submitted like his worst verses ever during that time.
Yeah, like exactly. Like I mean, like even like half of the fight of the years last year were from DAZN, and it had nothing to do with Canelo. Absolutely none of the fights that aired on that channel, on that platform. So it's just like, you know, it's not Canelo leaving. It's not the end of DAZN. Now it depends. If you're a casual and you think you only look for Canelo on DAZN, then frankly, your boxing eyes probably need to be checked because they're like DAZN just have good cards on there. Canelo's cards are not one of them. I'll say that though.
Yeah, so, he didn't do anything like I feel like if Anthony Joshua left, Matchroom and the Zone, I think that would be a bigger hit.
Yeah, I was more upset that Danny Ramon left.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
yeah, because Danny Ramon
Canelo,
were fire on there, and then he had a very lukewarm PBC debut. So it's like, I was mad about that. But Canelo, I'm just like, okay, if he wants to go, if he wants to do co-promoter, like, let's see if he pops these ratings and gets the money he wants with PBC.
He's not gonna get the sales, man. This ain't Pacquiao coming back to fight Broner and Thurman.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like those were two fights that no one minded seeing. Like we knew Broner was gonna be like the little warm up fight, but then after that we knew he was going after somebody good. So it was like, okay. Like, Plant ain't no warm up fight. And then it's like, the thing is, it's not like Canelo name is buzzing the whole year, like how Broner, about him, you're aware of him the whole year. Like, Canelo's buzz comes and goes, disappears. He don't speak English, so to put him in there with a fight of a Plant stature, and say pay-per-view next month, it's like,
yeah, that's a little bit short-sighted.
It is. It's hella short-sighted. Like,
yeah.
I don't know what type of investment y'all trying to get back. Like,
yeah, and then also, like, another thing I want to talk about regarding that too is, like, obviously now that Canelo is away from Oscar for like the first time in, like, was it like 12 years, give or take? So now does Canelo get the decisions now? Because I know,
the plot armor.
Yeah, because
who wants to try that against Plant? Plant is like the worst fighter to try your damn plot armor against.
Yeah,
too capable of a boxer.
So that's good
for that style, for Canelo's style. Yeah.
Now let's just say if Plant legitimately does beat Canelo and does actually beat Canelo officially, then Canelo pretty much now looks like a boo-boo with a fool because he's booked in the situation. To just because look, it doesn't look that way. It doesn't look good to see Canelo does all this and then he loses to Caleb Plant. Let's put it this way: Caleb Plant's profile is not high, so lose to Caleb Plant. It's
really look at this because people really look at his career because it's like, damn. It would have been better for him to take those take those Golovkin losses, even the Laura loss.
Yeah.
Then to you get helped out, squeaked out by all those people just to lose to Caleb Plant, who's going to really seem like he came from nowhere if y'all run this fight as is.
Yeah, and then Canelo's draw is going to take a hit. It's going to take a big hit.
Yeah. Remember, his draw ain't like that over here in America like that. So, like, it all depends on his opponents. Like Caleb Smith is like. I'm sorry, Caleb Plant, good name. It's a good fight, but it's just a bad timing.
Yeah, honestly, Canelo would do best if just to get someone, I wouldn't say a jobber, I wouldn't say 68, but someone, save the big fight for something else.
Man, he could have fought Eubanks on Showtime.
Yeah.
And now that he's over, like, and he's free agent, people gonna expect the Charlo fight.
Right, and that's another thing too, because like Canelo has no fights to make, and if he doesn't make it, then it's gonna be like, what? The Zone was probably right to let him go. Golden Boy was probably right to let him go.
Yeah, exactly. So he got a lot of pressure on him. It's like no more cherry picking, no more, bullshitting around, because you're gonna have to fight Plant. After that, you're gonna have to fight Benavidez or
Charlo.
Or Charlo.
Yeah, somebody pretty much,
And you ain't just running through those names like that.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose to one of them or two of them. Yeah. Me personally, I would pick Plant and Charlo to beat Canelo. That's me personally.
Charlo for sure. I still think Charlo can. I still think Charlo will probably make this dude look old, look really old than he should be.
I don't know why niggas think Canelo just beats Charlo's ass like that. Like, I haven't seen anything that
no.
It's tough. Charlo presents a lot of problems for Canelo stylistically.
He does.
So,
But
That's how I looked at it. Like just the stamina and work rate alone. Like
yeah, exactly. So it's just like I don't know what it is, but no, I mean I would give Jamel
it's just more.
a good shot at beating that dude.
My thing is that I'm honestly just not even looking at that as realistic anymore because I don't think Canelo can even make 160 anymore, and I doubt Charlo's going up to 168 for it.
I think Charlo will move up.
Yeah.
I
But
think
yeah.
they would do some type of catch weight. Cause
Oh God!
yeah, hey.
You lost me at catch weight, bro. You lost me there.
That's just how it is, man. Like you Canelo been feasting on them since all his career, so you can't.
Yeah, well,
It takes a catch weight for me to see the Charlo fight that he done avoided for 2 different divisions, and we gotta finally see it at like a third weight. Fuck it, I'll take it.
I'm good on the Canelo weights, but whatever.
No. You know what? Yeah, no,
I'm just saying because we're just looking at all the realistic fights he could make now that he's free agent, and the ones I want to see are Plant, Charlo, Benavidez, like
yeah. Like basically, he's got heavy hitters now. Like I don't want to see a Caleb Truax fight or anything like that.
no, fuck no, nigga, don't even put that in the air. Like,
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, we can come up from. But
Yeah, too late. We're getting Caleb Truax out. Too late.
I already was fucking up saying Eubank and Canelo, but at least that's a little better.
But like I mean, basically, Canelo's like, if he's gonna be leaving, PBC and Golden Boy, he's gonna have to do some shit. Like he's gonna have to, verify. He's got to show and prove, either being a PBC or he's got to face somebody at top rank. If he's gonna be this promotional free agent, like whatever it's gonna be, he's gonna need.
And he gotta make the events that people thought he was gonna bring to the zone.
Right.
You gotta be comparable because so far, like, the only true event he brought to the zone was the Jacobs fight.
Yeah.
And it didn't even turn out that good. And that's another reason why I feel like, he could lose to Charlo because he didn't look that great against Jacobs.
Yeah.
There's a similar stature, to Jamal and, to do similar things in the ring. So, but yeah, like he has to prove everybody, like, look, I could do it better on my own. There's no Oscar, no plot armor. Like this is gonna make or break Canelo career right now.
Yeah, career, his legacy, like
Yeah, his legacy, yeah, all of that shit.
Yeah. So obviously, the details I'm pretty sure will come out of whatever the agreement was or the separation agreement. We'll probably maybe doing like a follow-up or an addendum to this topic. So yeah, definitely stay tuned.
It was a good riddance detail.
Yeah.
Like, fuck this nigga. Like, oh my goodness. Like,
yeah, no, it was just like
he wasn't worth the trouble.
Yeah, like if you want to do this now, like you got what you wanted, so you better make the best of it.
Yeah,
so
I better see like some fucking platinum hits now.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Oh man,
Doubt it. We'll get a gold here, a gold there.
Oh, it's the same old shit then.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised. That's all I can say on that. Like,
yeah. Like I say, definitely stay tuned. We'll definitely talk about this. We'll talk about any other addendums for sure. So yeah, we actually